Whenever I see fireflies twinkling in the cornfields, I think about a tale that I heard from my Melungeon peers that connects fireflies with ancestors in a wider sense of spirituality. The key takeaway I always remember is that fireflies look like the ancestors in the stars, and in the past, that meant that fireflies were like stars on Earth. So the ancestors had returned home for a while. I understand this viscerally when I see them twinkle by the thousands, how it really must have been astounding that something as luminescent as fireflies showed up for a specific time each year. You have to remember that electricity didn't exist, and lamps and candles were expensive. Brightness in the dark without effort and resources was rare and visually exciting, and today they still look like stars leaping up from the ground. Like most folk traditions, the Melungeon idea of spirituality sometimes veers from Christianity and deals with nature directly via archetypes forged in families. This firefly story is one of those tales, and I have also augmented it, and now I recount it to you. The story goes that a female moon spirit gathers up the ancestors after they've died in the same way you would fireflies in a jar. This is so she can turn them into light. Their light in her jar help illuminate the moon as brightly as possible when it's full. But as the moon wanes into a new moon, the jar empties and light disseminates into the stars and shines their brightest when the moon is totally empty. For an ancestor to qualify as light that can be gathered by the moon spirit, they must have reincarnated 11 times, and they can only reincarnate if they're still remembered by their descendants. If an ancestor is forgotten by the living, they turn to dust and cease to exist before they make it to the land of the light. Since the ancestors made of light in the land of the light are gathered like lightning bugs by the moon spirit in her jar, the ancestors mirror this imagery when sending messages to Earth, so these messages come in the form of fireflies. This Melungeon notion is corroborated globally with other tales making the same correlations. To Indigenous American, Japanese, and other cultural methodologies, fireflies bring blessings as they are ancestors visiting Earth to commune with the living. Their presence brings protection by forming a connection with creation, as observing fireflies by the thousands is a humbling experience. In many agriculturally driven cultures, fireflies are associated with growth, harvest, and food. The more they light up a field at dusk during the growing season, the more successful the crops will be. Their appearance is thus associated with good fortune, and in some places, gently trapping a firefly in your hand allows you to gain some of its luck for yourself. If they're especially heavy in your yard during a particular year, good things are coming. In some Southeast Asian traditions, fireflies are guardians that protect travelers and wayward souls lost on their way to the afterlife. In Nigeria, messages from the living can be sent to the other side if a firefly is used. The only measurable truth about fireflies, however, is that they're bioluminescent, and bioluminescence is rare. A chemical reaction within a special organ in the firefly creates the light, and these flashes are part of warnings, mating rituals, or shows of virility, depending on the species in question. I'm giving you permission to make a wish on fireflies this summer, but be careful what you wish for. The ancestors are listening, and sometimes wishes have an unexpected way of coming true.